Is it recording? All right, there's some volume. Nice. All right, let me get this out of the way. So, hey, I'm John Reagan with Board Brains Consortium and Alshay AI or Alshay.ai, depending on if you're online or just listening or watching this. Guys, if you're watching this, you're probably online. Anyway, so today I'm gonna bring you some more on the Genesis OS, the suite of apps that are included. Right now you can see it up on the screen, and it is running in what I call kind of dev mode for me, which is it's running on top of the usual Ubuntu desktop or running within it. So it's basically like having an app suite. I have it set up too, though, so I can log in directly to this and no longer have Ubuntu desktop, just have this as the desktop. What you're looking at right now is just all the open apps. It is logged in both online to our website as well as to the server I have sitting over here in the closet now. So, and you can see that here. If I show you the dojo, you can see we have the list of available AI units, all here that are running on the server, as well as Grandpa, which is running on the website. So you can scroll down here. I can say, hey, what are we on here? Grandpa. Let's do one of the other ones. Let's, oh, just for fun, we'll use this one. Sometimes it doesn't like to respond. It's a little messed up. Yeah, no response generated. That one I have to play with some more. I really have to retrain that model. No response generated. I'm gonna have to look at those ones. Response generated. Let me see. Maybe I'm not. I should check the server real quick. We should have it ready. Interesting. Why are they not responding now? Oh, Grandpa. No response generated. Oh, that's interesting. It was just working a minute ago. I can show you actually I was in here with the red and blue architects and I said your mama and they responded. So, 5 F quality. Yeah, F quality. Kind of what I'm feeling right now. So I'll have to check and see why. There usually is a response generated from these. So it's kind of, I was actually chatting with this one just the other night. Uh, H. Sometimes, yeah, no response generated. So I'm not hitting something to get the response out of that. So I might have to restart that, look into it. Anyway, so that's what happens when as you make things and build stuff. But it is hitting the console. Chat was where I'll have to look into that again. Anyway, so here's Genesis running on my dev machine. Now my dev machine is a lot more powerful than this one, which is the Dell laptop that I was using um, for basically testing and setting this up to make sure it can run on minimal hardware. This runs a Gen 4 Core i5 with 8 gigs of RAM and 128 gigs of hard drive storage. It's nothing fancy on the graphics card, it's just an Intel discrete graphics chip. So it's able to run the Genesis OS on a Linux kernel with no problem. So I figured it was safe to move it over to the dev environment here and start messing with it in an area that I could be a lot faster on the iteration and design and corrective work versus putting it on there, playing with it on a little screen, coming back over here, mess with the code, coming in just back and forth. So already I've started doing a lot more with this, like being able to resize the windows, which is nice. There's some stuff with the desktop I have to do, so we have a little transparency happening there. I'm really annoyed with that. That's not working for some reason. Oh, he's going to go check it. Anyway, here we have the Code Forge, which is essentially a text editor that will extract logic from whatever code we put in here into a generalized format, it's just JSON, or we set up as BSON. And then we commit it to the database from here. And then from there, I can actually extract these lessons or items, as you might call them. And you see, you have a couple different options for different types of conversions. And then we can take that, extract it as a lesson, and train Jarvitz, which will be the embedded AI in this, in mine at least. Um, I'll make you guys a different one. That will help run and operate everything. So what you can see here is we have, let's just go through these windows real quick. We have the dojo, which does work. I got to see why it's not responding. I'm sure there's something on my server or something here. It's probably in the script. I had to redo some stuff for it. Then we have the logos, which is essentially a supply chain. We have a terminal here, but right now this is a real basic terminal that runs through our MDOs, which you can see in the KMIC monitor listed here. If you don't have the MDO loaded, this doesn't do anything. So the MDO is the actual kernel component, you might say, that will help run this later on as we take all this stuff and bring it all into its own kernel. So I'll explain more on that in a second. So this really just does one thing right now, which is if you've loaded, and you can see I've loaded the terminal MDO here, and we have the outputs here in the state, you'll get a list of whatever's in the folder. So that's all it does right now. It's pseudo terminal, but this is going to become full terminal really soon. Over here we have projects. Is a real simple project manager. The next stage for this is to get it in with tie it into the vendor system so that we can begin to take projects, source out the vendors, and create that whole cost structure, for the project that we're doing. Over here is the consortium overview, which is essentially a reading of the website, initiatives, any open trouble tickets, the overall system health, which this is pseudo right now. This is mock. This has a listener and everything I've set up, so it will do that here pretty soon. Community Sparks. This is essentially our own social network, you might say, that it works different than a regular social network. That's a whole other thing related to the feeds that are down here that I'm not pulling correctly, so I have to fix that and they'll start pulling correctly. Um, the lab, which is a MIC-based uh, kind of project, but more research experiment type thing that allows us to um, basically see how our hypothesis, what it does, and how it works, and the different steps we go through. And then we can actually take from this research project and turn it into a full project, which goes into our projects over here. And then we can even, from the projects, we can even make them public or keep them private so that they would show up in the feed of our social network area, that will give people an idea of the projects, what it looks like, what it's for, and then people can discuss as needed. Up in here, in this corner over here, we have our KMIC monitor. This has been the tool I've used in order to test the MDO kernel components and the engine and stuff for those. It's working out really well so far. As far as the scheduler, the ledger process, we're already using a hybrid elastic memory system, which is ready to be converted over to a direct memory manager. Um, yeah, so a lot of neat stuff in here. And it gives you world state and it lists it all out, and it's just a way to test to make sure everything is doing what it's doing before we start getting lower level, like with the UART, right? Things like that. Um, let's see what else. So this over here, if we go back over to this side, we have the code forge, which again is more like a text editor system that allows us to extract what we put in there into a pregraph for MICT, right? A format. This is a format that our AIs are very familiar with because they're based on that. Here we have our login test, so we can create a user, we can fetch their keys. In certain instances in testing MDOs, because of the security setup, if you don't do this, you won't be able to do anything over there either. So it's all tied in together. This is actually our original logic archaeologist, where we could take and load a artifact. So we choose a file, and then we can actually go and let's go in downloads for fun. Let's see what we got in here. Let's see what we got in here. A lot of stuff. Where did I put that? Camera v4, v7.text. No, that's just stuff descriptions. Building a line from scratch. Blah, blah, blah. Where did that C main go? Or was it main C? Anyway, this is starting to get along. I should have had this set up. My bad. Oh, lots of pictures. Why did I do that code, man? I know it's in there somewhere. Oh, so annoying. Anyway, so you can open a file. You can put it in here. You can extract the logic flow based off of the strategy, which I'm loading this up with the same strategies I'm loading in this one because it actually works off the same system. But they're just, even though they work for the same thing, they're for different purposes. The code forge, is so that we can take code, convert it to a structure the AI understands, save it to the database system, and train the AI on it so we can grow our AIs from the stuff we create. This is actually more of the same, but in a more general sense. So we can drop pretty much whatever we want into here for the artifact, or I should say, choose the file with this one and then load it up. This one's made more for it was originally more for PDF extraction. I have a strategy for text. I have a strategy for PDFs. I have a strategy for our MDOs now. I have a strategy for Python. Yeah. So anyway, this one's kind of neat because what's going to happen with our code forge is I'm going to integrate this middle panel here, which outputs a nodal structure. And this code forge, when you click the visualizer, will be like this, but just for the system, just for your app. It'll show a 3D nodal representation and how everything's connected in what ways, security, all that kind of stuff, layered within the connection between I'm already seeing how it's coming together and how I'm laying it out. So it works pretty good. It's gonna be pretty neat. Um, so yeah, so this one over here is more like for general type stuff. Like I could take a PDF, drop it in there, see the logical flow of if thens and applying what to what, and then in here it'll show you all those same things. So I don't have that demo set up right now. I did one earlier. I can't remember if I put it online or not, but and now the piece de resistance, the one that I'm really big on myself, is this one right here because this is our Easy Bake AI, right? This is the tools that I provided on GitHub, but they're integrated directly into the system here. And so what that means, at least for me, is I'll be able to take and put all of the architectures and all of the pipeline setups and all of the curriculum stuff that I've done into this one system. So this whole secure desktop, because it is all secure, anything that's running through the MDOs is 100% encrypted, mathematically verified, cannot be changed once it even begins to be committed, because if there is a change in between initiation and commit, it doesn't commit, right? If the glove don't fit, you must acquit. Oh, what the? So so anyway, so where is it? I have the output directory. Oh, I still need to put the name. I had the model name, but right now it just outputs model. So I actually had it in here to where you could put your name, and I can't remember I'll have to add that back. So we'll just say like I want to make a standard. I'm just gonna run it through. We'll just say 5 epochs just for fun. This is just for demo. I'll shoot forge. I did do the okay. I did do that, so that should be ready. So we'll just hit the forge button, and then bloom, 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 bloom. It's going through. It's training done, and it's running on CUDA. We've got a oh man, it's moving too black. I think it's a 40. It ends up being a 44 million. It doesn't matter. You'll actually see all the you with this, unlike your terminal, when you run these things, this is more like full reading and output. So once it's done, you'll be able to scroll all the way up through it, see all the data. You can even pull this and run direct reports or whatever you want to do. So to give you an idea, this is just I haven't done it full screen. Oh, that's not bad. This is just so you can make AI, right? So it tells me directory path. All this stuff is changeable, adjustable, you might say. I can't make one right now when it's already forging one, but you can select your different model types. So in my case, after I load it up, I'll have about, I think I'm 12 or 13 model types that'll be listed in there. The curriculum, you can really just use whatever curriculum you want. You can probably hear that fan kicking up pretty hard. And then, directories, how many epochs. This stuff is all basic standard transformer configuration. So the reason I include these right now is because they're standard. Because a transformer is standard, you go and read about it, you'll learn about it. The stuff I'm working on and the stuff that I do, such as the Pascal uh, transformer here, right? The Model Z, um, is a little experimental. Well, some of it's a lot experimental. It's all based in MICT. It's all based on the framework. And you can see this thing is just cruising right along. We get our nice little gauges. I'm waiting for it to. I'm trying to stall long enough, right, for it to get through one epoch of the. I think it was 35,000 lesson types, and we're doing batch, so 32. So yeah, 32 times 809, like that. All right, come on, we're at 80%. So it's chugging right along. You can see our CPU usage is at 28, 29, RAM's at 17. And if I come over here, hey, look at that sucker. When we hit the NVIDIA, we'll see we're running at about almost 6 gigs of RAM usage, right, to do this. We're definitely at 100% on the fan, 86 degrees. I mean, there's 100% here, but I'm not even spanning it, right? So I could span this across the other card. Oh, do we get one? We got a training loss reading. See? Really, I just wanted to, pardon me, show that those readings work. All right, and we're back here. So I'm just gonna let it run. I could end it just by hitting Control C. And I can minimize or you know reduce its size. Obviously, there is a lot of stuff going on here, but all of these are just web-based. I mean, they're just React, JavaScript. They're actually fairly easy to write and work with. And so the front end that we're putting together on this is going to be that. It's going to be web technologies, essentially highly secure, highly locked down, because everything, even the talks to the kernel or any of the main operating